Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We have Jeffro from Jeffro's Fishkeeping and Phoebe and Baby tonight for
Hi
Jeff.
guys.
We have our
Yeah.
co-host Bob and Skipper's Aquariums, and there's gonna be there's a little bit of an issue with sound.
Several
So
issues.
everybody knows he's actually listening to me on a phone call because so that's why that is happening. So, Jeffro, would you like to tell us a little bit about your channel?
Well, I've got a fishy YouTube channel that basically what I've always kind of looked at my channel as is I kind of just take you guys along for all my aquariums. I just start recording. I don't try to come up with any kind of plan or any ideas or anything. It's just I take you along with me on my aquariums, on everything that's going on. My channel just recently kind of got started back up. I kind of left for a year and a half. I can't necessarily say that I really got burned out or anything, but I left YouTube for like a year and a half. I did not upload a video for a year and a half after uploading very, very regularly for like 3 or 4 years. And yeah, I've had a lot of fun. My YouTube channel has always been fun and exciting. But I really kind of added too many aquariums at the end. And it got to where it really wasn't as much fun. It was more work than it was fun. I got to where I had during the summer when you had the summer tubs, it was almost 50 different aquarium setups. And it just got to where it was just so much work because whenever you're breeding and you're doing planted aquariums and all that kind of stuff.
I wasn't gonna mention the baby. Jeff.
Yeah, and the baby, and whenever I left YouTube as well, I had been single for 3 years, and I met Phoebe, and I started dating, which I hadn't dated in 3 years, So that kept me really busy. But yeah, my YouTube channel has pretty much always been kind of pleco heavy. I kind of just love plecos, but this year, since I get a new fresh start, I had a big episode where I lost all my fish in my fish room, every single one except for I got some ram's horn snails. I got a couple of really nice black neocardinas, and then some coal shrimp. I've got some coal shrimp left, and then a few plants. But other than that, I lost everything. I had, I've been living with Phoebe here at her house since June, and I was going to my house every other day, every couple of days. The most it ever was like 3 days or something like that. And I had some problems. I didn't have a newer breaker box at my house. I had an outside service with the old glass fuses, and my power went off. And I hadn't been there in a couple of days, and when I went there, it was way, way, way cold, and I just lost everything. And so right now I'm starting over completely fresh. It was like a big punch in the gut, actually, because I had a lot of stuff. I had a lot of pets,
I have to tell you something really quick, Jeffro. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I got a message from Mikey earlier.
Uh-huh.
Mikey Trevor.
Uh-huh.
Mile High Plecos. He said, I would just like you to know that Phoebe is a hope. Me and Jeffros are secretly a thing, have been for years. Don't believe the lies out of his mouth.
He was sending me some messages earlier, and I was ignoring him. But oh my god, man, Mike, why did you out me like that?
Your late night phone calls.
I know. I don't like this. I can't see the chat. I bet he's in there, that little dipstick.
Up your sideways.
Camera. I've been feeding dogs and cats and fish till this second. I'm trying.
So what's it like having a new baby in the house?
It is really awesome. She's a good little girl.
She's lying. She's naughty.
She loves us a lot.
Oh, she's beautiful, though.
She really is. Today,
I kind of did. My oldest was 18, and I had 18, and then I'm trying to think here. And 14 and 12-year-old when I had my youngest baby.
oh my goodness.
And I was 42 years old. So
Yeah, right now mine are 26, 23, 19, and 15, and 2 months old.
Yeah.
26 years between my oldest and my youngest.
yeah. Everybody accused me of growing my own models for my drawings.
Oh yeah.
They said, that's why you did that. I remember when I called up my brother because I was divorced from my oldest three's dad when I had my youngest. And I remember I called my brother who passed away this last summer, but I called him, told him that I was pregnant. Like saying I was 42 years old. And I still remember what he said. He said, I don't know whether to tell you congratulations or come over there and kick your ass.
Yeah, whenever my last child before Danny was born, I was 30 years old. And then, of course, when she was born, I was getting ready to turn 45. But, yeah, it's one of those type of things where we just make it work. We both are really, really hard workers. And I feel like, except for the nighttime, I'm a really, really heavy, dead sleeper. And Phoebe never wakes me up.
I tried to wake him up. He just
Well, yeah, I could probably sleep through a train coming through the house.
And then when he growls back at me, he'll say like "Good grief" or something silly.
I cannot, prove that is the truth.
No need to lie.
But
Well, I
yeah,
can tell you,
you did a pretty good job.
A lot of people in chat that I haven't said hi to, but hello, everybody. So,
yeah,
how many have you got started on getting your fish tank 3 set up in your house? Or
Well, I've got a great big room in the basement that I'm going to be able to set up a fish room in. I'm going to try to limit myself.
Move the phone away from the speaker.
Oh, okay. I am going to try to limit myself to where I don't get overwhelmed again. But right now we've got like 3 tanks in the house, and I think somewhere around 3 or 4 more, and then my vivariums. But where I've got so far is like tomorrow I plan on painting the basement. I had to seal it. We had a couple of little bitty pinhole leaks in the basement walls. And I had to seal the basement walls. I had to scrape off a bunch of paint, different things like that. But I think I've pretty much got it ready for paint. And then I'll get the walls painted. And I got my vivariums moved over. I do need to replant them. And then, I've got this tank behind me set up where I didn't even realize I was going to be able to have livestock already, but I've already got shrimp and snails in it and got some plants in it. And then just waiting for warmer weather. I'm almost thinking, and I haven't said this even on my channel, I'm almost thinking about maybe trying to do like either some Corys for the bottom and then maybe some CPDs. I've never kept any Corys and I've never kept CPDs. So I'm thinking about doing that possibly for this tank. The Celestial Pearl Danios are really awesome. And I mean, my 15-year-old son, he's kept Corys before, and I love Corys, but I always had Plecos. And the Plecos are always on the bottom and fighting against the Corys and everything, so I just never kept any Corys.
Oh, Corys are fun. They have a lot of personality.
Yeah, and there's tons of different Corys as well, you know. So,
I have Corys with Plecos in the 20-gallon, and they do just fine.
really?
Yep.
Well, I always would have like 30 or 40 Plecos in a tank, though.
I started to say.
You got me beat there, but if you have like two of them, like a pair, you'll be all right.
Well, the nicest thing about this is how I did it at my house was I just kept on adding aquariums. And then, you know, I can't remember if it was Simply Betta or which one it was, but there was a girl that did mainly only bettas. And she had a bathroom that she didn't use. It was an extra bathroom.
Yeah, I think that was Simply Betta's.
Yeah, and she had her shower just full of little betta tanks everywhere, you know, and her whole bathroom was just betta tanks. And that's kind of basically how I did it. I just kept on, you know, my dining room.
I remember you just barely had room to get into your bedroom.
Yeah, my bedroom had 16 aquariums in it, you know, and like I had probably 20 in my dining room, and it was just like everywhere I could fit a tank, I would put one, you know, and this way I've got a room just dedicated for it. I always wanted to do that, but I just did it wrong, you know, and this way I get to do it from scratch. And every time I make a video, I ask everyone to give me their feedback on what I should do. And man, people comment and tell me this and that. And there's a bunch of good, smart people out there. And they've been giving me great ideas.
I am going to show off the card that I'm going to give away tonight. The little sign.
All right.
I've got one tonight. It is, and I'm probably saying this wrong, it's an Epistogramma Banshee. Baenshie, and it is a drawing of an adult male, and it is a breed that Jason from Redfish Bluefish is going to be getting in here real soon. And if you want to get anything from his website, I have a link in my down below. In my links and a 10% discount thing. But here's the card, a colored pencil, and I'm going to be giving this away tonight. You guys can see that.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
So that's what's going to be the giveaway later on tonight. So, okay, continue on.
I've been a blabbermouth.
No. Blabbermouth is good.
It's been really nice.
The stream's all about
coming back to YouTube like this has gave me a fresh start. Like Phoebe has always pushed me all this time. It just took me being ready to come back. But when I came back, I'm I feel like better than what I was before. Like before, I was just thinking about making the next video, I mean, I haven't even got tomorrow's video edited. I've got the whole thing shot. But tonight, I have to sit down and I have to edit it. And I have to upload it to YouTube and try to get it all done to get it on YouTube by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. What I've been busy doing all week long is I've been to about 10,000 live streams this week.
There we go.
And we've actually turned into live stream junkies, and we go to everybody's live streams.
Tried to go to everybody's.
Oh, you didn't make it to mine yet.
And I would say we've been to about 50,000 this week.
The number's just going to keep going higher and higher.
But there's a lot more people to go live now.
Yeah.
Yes, there is. It's hard sometimes because more than one person that I want to watch will be on at the same time.
Well, it was really awesome. Today I caught Bob. He was going live, and I had never seen Ginger Graves. And I got to see Ginger Graves.
That was a good stream. Yep.
Yeah, that was awesome. That's the coolest thing about it is I've known Ginger for years and years and years, just in the chat on many, many live streams, and I've never got to actually see her before.
Yeah, me neither. And then I recognized her voice instantly as soon as I got going. But yeah, I'd never seen her before.
Wasn't that
I
cool?
got to hang out with her all day.
Really cool.
Days ago.
And I got to see her fish room, and all that kind of stuff. And I just love that.
Yeah, it was really cool. I just wish I was closer to where I could have helped them out too.
Yeah.
I've driven to Tennessee before. The company that I work for is based out of Nashville, and probably about 5 or 6 years ago, our conference was there. We do it somewhere different. We do it in the same town for 2 years in a row, and then we go somewhere else. But I drove out there a couple of years ago, and I was in Nashville. But next time I go to Nashville, I'll probably go and visit some people.
Tennessee is the new West Coast fish keepers. We're all here now. Tennessee.
Yeah, I would like to go visit, but it's a long ways from Boise.
Well, the thing, yeah, I know, right? Boise. I always tease her. He's from Boise.
That was from when, before Jeffro quit live streaming, when he live streamed all the time.
Uh-huh.
He made a mistake and thought I was from Boise.
You're from Laramie?
Yes.
Yeah, Laramie is where she's from. And I was probably only about 45 minutes away from you a couple years ago when I went to see Mikey.
Yeah, about 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah.
Yeah. We're thinking about going out there and seeing Mikey this summer.
Well, I hope all the stupid pandemic stuff is over with, but it looks like it's getting worse. So.
Same. We made a trip out to Cali last June to see all of her family, and we just made sure and didn't stop very often, at any public place. We really was taking a big chance, actually, but we just really, really made sure and washed our hands and wore masks constantly, and only stopped when we necessarily had to.
Yeah, I have to be super careful because I'm old and fat, Since it started, I haven't had anybody in my house, and when I go to town, I mask up. And now with the new variants that are out there, I'm double masking, which reminds me, everybody that's waiting for mail, I have been waiting to get some masks in the mail, which came today, so I'll be going to the post office tomorrow. So sorry, everything has been really late, but like I say, I'm trying to be super, super careful. And the post office here is not a really good place to go because it always seems to be crowded and people don't wear their masks. And so now I've got some, some of those, what are they? I got them right here. Hang on. They are KN95 masks. I'm going to wear one of them with the cloth mask over the top when I go in there. So that's what I've been waiting for. So everybody that's been waiting for mail, that's what's been the holdup, is because I ordered these weeks ago and they just got here today. So,
well, there's some hospitals that I go to for work, and they make me wear a mask and then a face shield over it, and then also a gown and gloves and everything.
Yeah.
Some facilities, like a nursing facility or something that I go to, they make me do that same thing as well.
Yeah. Well, they're saying now the recommendation is double mask.
Oh yeah.
So with the new variants, I guess, are really, really, really contagious. So
Yeah, this
And
cold
also,
weather has made it really rampant.
30 to 40% higher mortality rate with the new variants too.
Jeez.
And I can't afford a hospital stay because I don't have insurance, and it would probably take me out anyway. So I just have to be super, super, super careful.
Right.
One thing I always ask you, Pam, what's the weather like out there in Wyoming?
Cold.
Like a lot of snow on the ground?
There is some snow on the ground.
We probably got about 14 inches of snow on the ground. And then it's supposed to get down to 0 tonight. And earlier I went to the gas station after Phoebe got home from work, and it was 6 degrees.
So cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've
Yeah.
had in the minuses this week,
Mm.
which is always fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't had minus yet this year, but all that stinking snow on the ground is getting old. We have had snow ever since on the ground ever since before Christmas. We haven't seen the grass
Nope.
since like the second week of December.
Yeah, we had our last snow last year was June 8th. We had a snowstorm on June 8th. And then we had our first snow like I think it was just before the 1st of September.
Yeah, we had one in
So we had a
October.
short summer.
We had our first snow in October. The 2 years in a row, it started, but I hate those winters like the one that we're having right now. We're probably going to have snow on the ground all winter long, and I just hate that you get tired of stepping on the snow every day,
Yeah.
Yeah. What's bad is when I remember a couple times in Montana, we had like 3 or 4 feet of snow. And then from me getting out of the truck and walking to the front door, I made this nice sheet of ice that I had to it was a nice sheet of ice where I walked. Oh, I think I slipped a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think this is the first time I've ever been on a live stream where I haven't been able to see the chat.
Does it feel weird?
Yeah.
There is a lot of people in, and I'm sorry I didn't say hello to everybody.
I
But
bet you there's a lot
I'm
of people
seeing
on
you. I
there.
just haven't said hello to everybody.
Nobody wants to talk to you, baby.
Yeah, I know, right?
I can see it, but I can't talk in it. So
I've got 2 more YouTubers that have been after me to go live with them forever. And I was waiting until I got hardwired to my internet, and I finally did last week. But I'll have to do something different than this.
It's not too bad, though, as long as you don't hold the phone too close to the speaker.
Right.
Except I can barely hear you guys, so it kind of sucks.
Oh, that
I
does-
know. Without.
I'll try to do
It's all
that.
your fault.
It's probably something stupid. It's
I
probably
know.
something that I pushed today. I pushed a button on my computer.
Oh my God, don't touch buttons.
I know, right?
never touch the button.
Don't touch- You know what I did? You probably missed it because it was before you came back. But I got monetized, and I was monetized for about 2 weeks in December last year. Like not this last year, but the year before. So I was monetized and so happy. And on New Year's Eve, at 4 o'clock in the morning, I hit buttons and unmonetized myself.
Oh my goodness.
gosh.
And I was unmonetized for almost 5 months before.
Oh my God, Pam.
So my advice to everybody is don't touch the button.
Wow.
Write that down.
Yeah, write that down.
Yeah, that was a big oops. And then, with a small YouTube channel, they don't care. I mean, you can send them all the emails and stuff you want, and
Yeah.
they aren't going to pay any attention. And then one day I just turned on the computer and there was a notice in my email saying, you're eligible to be monetized. And I was like, oh my God, thank God.
So let me ask you this, Pam. Have you ever got your first check yet?
Yes.
Isn't that cool?
Yes. It actually has saved my life more than once. Like this month, it was just exactly what I needed to help me pay the rent. So.
Yeah, isn't that cool? That year and a half that I took off, I kept on, every once in a while, I'd get an email that says, we've added your AdSense to your PayPal. And I'm like, what? And I would go and look and I'm like, man, it is just such a cool feeling. It really kind of made me feel guilty. But I kind of got lucky in this year and a half being off. I've got over 400. I've actually probably closing in on 600 videos that I've got on YouTube, but I've got a lot of them back in the day before I turned into fish keeping on my channel. I used to do a bunch of other videos, and I've got those all set now to where they don't, like, they're
private.
They're private. Some of them are just unlisted, but before I did that, there was this one video that I made, it was about fish.
That was your catfishing one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that one is up over 100,000 views now. And I finally just took those to where they're just unlisted, But yeah, it's kind of nice to be able to finally, because you put a lot of money into this. A lot of people don't understand. You really actually put a lot of money into this. I mean,
Yeah.
You put more money into it than what you get back, actually.
Yeah, definitely. And which is also new since you came back, like about a year and a half ago, I retired from my day job and do nothing but my art. So between, the small sales on that and the YouTube is what's keeping me going right now. So.
Yeah, it's a big chance, I just don't know how some people do it.
I am glad though, because I was working at a convenience store and I quit before the pandemic hit. So,
Right.
And I'm actually glad. One of the guys that I worked with at the convenience store passed away earlier this month. So
Oh,
I'm glad that I'm not working there.
Yeah.
no, that's terrible.
Because Wyoming is not good at regulations and stuff. It's just not.
Right.
Wyoming is one of those states where they pretend it isn't happening.
Well, I was in a store the other day, and it's a funny story. I'll just go ahead and get, honest here. I went to the bathroom. I put a dip of chew in right before I went into the store. And right when you first put a dip in, you've got to spit nonstop.
Yep.
I went into the bathroom to spit, and I got it all over the top of my mask on the nose piece. I mean, to tell you, it was just brown everywhere, all around the nose piece. And I looked around, and I was thinking, I need to take this mask off. And I was like,
They probably
I don't want to take it off.
They probably just thought that there was no toilet paper.
Well, I started looking around. What it made me do is it made me kind of look around at the store, and everybody in that store had masks on. And that made me think, we're finally getting there,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they actually, in December, they finally passed the mask mandate in Wyoming. But I stopped by the convenience store last week, and I went in there and I had to get some water. And the girl in there, the cashier wasn't wearing a mask. I'm like, well, I'm not coming in here again.
Yeah.
Because I thought it'd be better to stop in a small store than go to the grocery store, but no. And Ginger Graves just called you a brown noser.
Did she?
So did I.
It was really nice getting to see your tanks today during Bob's live stream. That was so cool. And getting to see you. I had never got to see you before.
I know, I love seeing Ginger.
that was really cool. It was really so cool. And her, cheap Walmart brand food that she was feeding her Oscars, I thought, it's exactly me. You don't have to give them nothing special, but they love it. The little boogers. It was so cool. It was nice that Bob was able to help her out too, because she got into a little pinch this week, and that's awesome. Bob, it probably fit right up into his forte, getting to have more fish and more aquariums. Lucky dog.
I have to open my last bedroom that's doesn't have fish in it to put those tanks up. And I'm meeting her for more next week. So.
Well, it was going to happen sooner or later anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Do you have tanks now? Is that a tank behind you, Jethro?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got 2 5-gallon aquariums downstairs in one of our kiddos' room, and then I've got this 55-gallon behind me right here, and then I've got a couple of my vivariums here.
Oh, cool.
And I've still got all my aquariums that I'm going to move, and just trying to do it on the weekends is what I'm trying to do.
Did you have tubs this past year?
I did not do any summer tubs this year. Phoebe likes the idea of summer tubs. So I could see us doing summer tubs. I've still got all my tubs. I just didn't set any of them up this summer.
Yeah, that tiered system you had 2 or 3 years ago was really cool.
Yeah, it was really actually pretty good. The coolest thing about summer tubs is, you put them out there in the sunlight and their colors change different than what they do in aquariums. And they just do much better. And it's like it shows you that nature is actually better.
Oh, yeah.
Outside. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I don't know anything about Phoebe. I want to know about Phoebe.
You want to know about Phoebe?
I know about you, Jethro. I've known you a long time.
Oh, you're gonna put me on the spot.
Bob doesn't.
Oh yeah, baby. You're on the
I know
spot.
absolutely nothing about fish.
You know a little bit.
Zero.
A little bit.
He's trying to hype me up. I know nothing about fish. So I'm a mom. I actually work for an event center here in town. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
She has kept reptiles her whole life.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, cool.
I prefer reptiles, but I do like fish though. But I'm more of like a koi girl. I really like shrimp.
She does love my shrimp.
Yes, I want to do more things with like geckos and like reptiles and stuff like that though. So I can make like terrariums and do like the whole thing. It'd be awesome if we had like enough money to like make like a terrarium and an aquarium like together in like their own ecosystem.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
super dope, but I don't even know if that's possible.
Paludarium.
It's possible.
He's so smart. That's why.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's definitely possible.
I'll keep you in mind as a reptile resource. I've just got into those about a year ago, so.
I would like to try, get a few. I still want to get some dark frogs, but when I can.
I love geckos, any type of geckos. Leopard geckos are my favorite because they act like puppies. Like they even make a weird noise when they're like intimidated or they're trying to intimidate you and get you away from them. They'll make like a little weird noise. So.
Oh,
You heard me, Pam. So
It's really cool to hear her talk about lizards because she's kept reptiles ever since she was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And she's so much more knowledgeable than what she even knows. It comes like natural because
Is that brown nose are going again?
No. her and I were talking one night about getting a setup done with her leopard geckos that she has, and she was telling me all the ins and outs. It was just like I tell her whenever I'm talking about fish, she really, really does know her stuff. So it's going to kind of help because, we've got a 75-gallon display tank that has leopard geckos in it, so they're going to make it to the channel.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
It'd be nice to get like into knowing how to like breed them and actually be able to like profit off them. That would be cool. Not that I don't enjoy them as pets, but it would be really
Priscilla says she has an extra leopard gecko. Please pick it up when you visit.
Priscilla said that?
Yeah.
I will. I'll take it.
Yeah, I know, right? I saw it actually on a live stream the other night. It's cute.
Is it?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
Jethro, did you know Sand Creek Aquatics? Did you know Nathan at Sand
Yeah,
Creek
Priscilla
Aquatics?
was a lot of fun to go see whenever we went out there. I got to go to her actual house, which is totally different now. Her fish room. At the time when I went to see her, she was trying to downsize, but I see now she's hoarded all the way back up. She's got like 60 aquariums again, you know? And I got to go to her fish store that she still works at there in Boulder, Colorado. And then I got to go and see Mikey, but I didn't save enough time to go see Pam. But I think this time we'll have to go and see Pam.
Well, if you go down there, I can meet you like in Cheyenne.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Because
I
we
started
went
to
right
say
through
she won't
Cheyenne,
let
which
you
I
in.
think Cheyenne's about 45 minutes away from you, right?
Yeah, 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah.
Right. That's how close I was. I went up through Cheyenne to come back.
Yeah. So next time if you go, we'll make arrangements to meet in Cheyenne, but we will do better than I did with Kenny because Kenny from Danikin Aquatics, he was going through, and I told him I'd meet him at a park, and I didn't have a phone.
Oh boy.
And it ended up like he was on the other side of this building from me.
Oh,
Like
geez.
when I made a video waiting for him, you know, and he was actually not very far away from me, waiting for me. And in my video, you can see his truck behind me.
Oh, geez.
Yep.
That's
That would have been funny to like go back and edit it though, and like put his truck and like put little arrows to it that he was like right behind.
Yeah, I was waiting for him, and you can see his truck in the background.
That's hilarious.
Now, doesn't he live up in Canada?
No, he lives in Oregon.
Oregon. Why did I think Canada?
I don't know. It probably, maybe Canada is close to Boise.
Yeah, I know, right? I'll tell him he lives in Canada and you live in Boise.
So where's my Yazzie? Is he in your lap?
He waited on you to speak to him, but he finally fell asleep. My little dog loves Pam, and well, I won't say that, but I get in trouble. And she loves him. Yazzie,
Mm.
there's
Yazzie always has to come and get in Bob's lap whenever he hears my voice on the computer.
every
He's
time.
so cute.
There's your Pam. There's Pam.
Hmm.
He knows who you are.
What's going on?
He loves Pam. All right, go back to sleep.
So what kind of other fish are you planning on getting, Jeffro?
Well, I've got a 300-gallon aquarium that I bought probably about 3 years ago. I bought it from a gentleman that retired from the railroad. And whenever he retired from the railroad, he bought this 300-gallon aquarium, and it is 72 inches long by 27 inches tall by 36 inches deep. So the floor on it is 36 by 72, which is pretty
Whoa.
good.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's a 300-gallon, and it still has the wrapper on it and everything. He figured that whenever he retired, he'd have enough time to mess with it. He's a cichlid guy, you know.
Now, is it glass or acrylic?
It's glass. It's like half
wow.
inch thick glass.
Oh my God, that's going to be heavy.
It weighs 650 pounds.
And we have to get it like down a flight of stairs in the basement in super tight corners.
Yeah, when I brought it home, I drove out to I want to say Grand Rapids, but it's not Grand Rapids. It's Grand Junction, maybe, Nebraska. It's south of Omaha, about 2 hours. I drove, I want to say I drove 4.5, 5 hours to go get it. It's a $4,000 retail aquarium, and I got it for like $2,000. It comes with all the plumbing. Everything is with it except for a thumb, you know, and a stand. It came with the glass shelves, the lids, you know, and everything. And I've got everything purchased to set it up. I just got to get it here. And whenever I brought it home, I got my son and 6 of his buddies to bring it in the house. You know, it is heavy. It's just been sitting there in my living room. So I've got that to bring home to this house. And that means that I'm probably going to get into some monster fish this year. Now, back in the day, way before YouTube, I got a 125 gallon aquarium, and I bought some Pacu, and I think I had an Oscar in there, and then I had some kind of a monster catfish in there, and like a big pleco. And I'd like to get into some Pacu again. I'd really like to get a red-tailed catfish, even though probably 10, 12, 15 years from now you'd outgrow it. But 3 foot wide, you know, that'd give me quite a few years with him. You know, probably more than his lifespan, I would say.
You can always release him at the pond at Dana's too.
No,
Yeah.
because he wouldn't be able to make it in the wintertime.
Why?
We'd have to probably get a hold of Ohio Rescue or something like that.
Did you see my Pacu in the live stream?
What's that?
Did you see my Pacu in the live stream?
I did. That thing is huge.
Well, there's 2 of them, and it's a 180 they're in. They grow about an inch a day. So
Yeah, the biggest tank that I had before this 300 gallon was 125. Most
that's a
of the time,
125.
Smaller aquariums.
That's a 125 behind me, and it's plexi. Probably weighs 25 or 30 pounds. I love it.
Isn't that something?
So Phoebe, how are you planning on keeping Jeffro in line when he starts getting tanks in there?
I don't even know. Make him pay the water bill probably, and then he won't get as many tanks.
I'll pay the water bill.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to keep him to one room, but I don't know.
Are you going to have your reptiles in the same room or in a different one?
Well, we're thinking about it today. Actually, we were talking about it because I already have it's actually a refurbished jewelry case that I bought off of a marketplace that I have my lizards in right now. And Jeffrey and I were talking about building something around it, but still being able to access it because it has little slider mirrors in the back, so you can still change the terrarium, and it has a glass front. So you could see them from the front, and then you could, do whatever you need to because it has little doors in the back. So we're thinking about building something around it.
Seems like for a lot of them, it would be good to be in the fish room because of the extra humidity in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, because usually I'll keep a little humidity box for them and just spray a paper towel. And then the heat lamps that are on it creates a little humidity box for them. And it's super cheap and affordable. And I have 27,000 kids, so it has to be cheap and affordable.
Oh, wow.
I know the feeling.
So yeah, we're just doing that right now. But yeah, that's a really good idea, just to keep them down there with the fishies. So it'll be cost efficient, kill 2 birds with 1
Plus,
stone.
we'd have more room in the living room.
Yes, because my living room's really tiny. I mean, the house is pretty decent size, but the living room is really small. It's an older house, so it doesn't have the open floor plan. So the basement is really where it has the most space. Yeah.
What kind of lizards do you keep?
What's that, Bobby?
What kind of lizards does she keep?
She's got a male and a female leopard gecko, and the one is a standard color. The female is a standard, just standard leopard gecko, but the male is some kind of color morph.
It's they call them hybrids when they're in the store, so they could sell them for more, with the big box stores,
Right.
But actually, it's a genetic mutation, and they're usually more frail and they're harder to gain weight. Mine, I actually think is blind or colorblind or something, because when it comes to feeding, he'll miss. He'll miss when he's trying to strike his little crickets or whatever. So I have to hand feed him in order to get him. But he just has trouble keeping up with the female. But
He doesn't hunt at
he
all.
won't hunt. He can't.
The female that is the standard, she hunts.
And she's
I mean,
healthy.
we put crickets in there or worms.
Hands and
I mean, she is just on it, and she
Yeah.
hunts on her own. But the male, the color morphed one that's beautiful,
Mhm.
she has to hand feed him.
Yeah.
Now there was a guy, a video that I watched. I don't remember the channel at all, but he had like a free roaming lizard room
Mm.
in his house where he had snakes and all kinds of lizards and stuff, and a waterfall set up, and like wood and all kinds of places for him to hide. And he had all these lizards and snakes and stuff in there. And he had a video where he took. I still can't. I wouldn't even. I would divorce him if I was married to him. He took a box of 1,000 crickets and turned them loose in that room.
Oh my God.
And they got out of that room.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
they got out.
And they stink.
No,
They're stinky. They're nasty. Oh God.
Yeah, they stink.
Yeah.
They try to some people try to make crickets, to breed them and stuff so they can make it, cheaper to feed their reptiles. But man, they stink so bad. Oh God. Ugh.
One of my daughters is staying with her dad right now, and he doesn't know that she has 3 tarantulas.
Oh, I don't do
These
spiders.
little cages, and she's got her tarantulas.
Oh.
And she got some kind of like a. You guys that have lizards and stuff probably know it was some kind of like a big roach thing to feed her tarantulas.
Uh-huh.
It's
Dubai.
hissing.
Yeah,
hissing.
Why roaches or something like that. Yeah. And she got a box of them to feed her tarantulas, and she accidentally tipped the box over, and they ran all over the place.
Oh my
Which I thought was pretty funny.
Oh goodness, no.
I think it was probably the hissing
Some of them
cough.
got behind. She got most of them, but some of them got behind the bookcase, and she couldn't get to them.
Oh God. I bet you had a
Oh,
good
that's
time with
funny.
that one.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was pretty funny.
Wow.
Because it wasn't your house.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Now my daughter, she always wanted to get tarantulas, and that's one thing I made a rule in my house. She could get anything she wanted, my youngest, but no spiders and no whatchamacallits, the scorpions.
Oh,
No
yeah.
scorpions and no spiders in
Mhm.
my house. Period. Because if they got loose, I would never ever be able to sleep again for my whole life.
Yeah, I don't do spiders either. I hate spiders. Ugh.
I do too. I hate spiders.
I'll tell you, I am subscribed to Brian Barszczyk.
Yeah.
He has a lot of snakes. He's real snake heavy, reptiles, but he's got me to wanting to keep snakes. Actually,
Yes.
he
Snakes are okay. I don't mind snakes. And I've had, with my kids growing up, I've had all kinds of just all kinds of reptiles, including snakes. And that doesn't bother me at all, but I'll just be damned if I'm going to let somebody bring a spider into my house. No.
I don't mind snakes either. The only thing that I think is sad about it is you have to feed them live little mice.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're meant for them, but they're alive and they're little babies. And sometimes
Yeah,
they have to be,
I-
babies.
When my daughter got a snake, I didn't think, I was worried about it because it was not trained to eat frozen mice, so she had to get live ones, baby
Yep.
ones.
Mhm.
And she had mice or rats for pets before. So I figured she'd have a hard time, but she actually did pretty good. She named them all, I shouldn't tell you this, and I don't know why she did it, but she named them all Jeffro. Jeffro 1 and Jeffro 2 and Jeffro 3. Yeah. She fed them all to the snakes.
That's hilarious.
They must have been big eaters.
Well, I hadn't really ever wanted to keep snakes until a couple weeks ago. Brian did a video where he had a couple of different garter snakes, and he's got some garter snakes that are bad to the bone, where they've got these really cool color morphs, and a garter snake would be pretty easy to keep. I just have to figure out what their food would be. I don't think that they would be able to eat mice because they're a smaller snake.
Well, I know one thing that they can eat because I had trouble with them when I lived on Cape Cod. I dug a big fish pond out, and it had like a double pools and a waterfall and everything, and I kept fancy goldfish. And my goldfish were disappearing, and one day I went out there, and there was a garter snake just climbing up out of the water with one of my goldfish in his mouth.
Oh my God, Pam!
Did you kill it?
Yes, I did.
You go, girl. You go.
You gotta protect your fish, Pam.
I've done the same thing.
And it was just a garter snake. It was just a regular garter snake, but it got into the pond and was catching my goldfish.
He was hungry.
And they will also eat frogs because I had this great big bullfrog that was living in my pond, and he was a big old boy. And he would sit there. I'd like stand right next to him. He'd be sitting on a rock, and I'd stand with my feet right next to him, and I'd talk to him and stuff. But I saw a garter snake chasing him across the yard one day, and he was screaming like frogs can scream. And he was on a dead run heading for the pond with that snake right behind him. So I know they'll eat bullfrogs too.
Wow.
Well, that probably explains what happened to our fish up at the Alta house.
Probably so.
Yeah, our little kois.
Raccoons too.
Oh.
Raccoons will clean out a little goldfish pond.
I wonder what you can do for that.
Well, I was surprised because I really didn't think that. I knew there was garter snakes all over because I had like flower beds everywhere. It was like you walk in the backyard and there was just a trail through the backyard to the pond with flower beds on all sides. But I knew there were snakes in there, but I didn't think the garter snakes would get in the pond and eat the fish, but they were doing it.
I didn't think they'd go down in the water.
They did.
They do.
Starving.
We got a lot of them here in Pennsylvania. They do that. If you
Raccoons got into her tubs last summer.
Yeah, I actually had that happen to me too. And what I did was I bought one of those little it was actually realistic. It was a hoot owl decoy.
Yeah. Did it work?
Yeah, it did. But the problem is you have to continually move it.
Yeah, or they'll get used to it.
You have to get used to it, and they're like, that owl ain't going to get us, you know. And you just have to keep on moving it. So every day when you go out and check your fish, just move it to a different area. And by golly, that makes them raccoons think that it's real. It worked for me. It kept me.
Probably fishing birds too. You know, like some birds will go fishing too, and I bet an owl would keep them away.
Yeah, and that was the biggest problem I had was crows. I had a bunch of crows showing up, eating all my live bears.
Oh, and crows are smart too.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are. That's why you have to. That's why you have to move the owl so much because they're like, you know, we know you ain't real, buddy. You're from Amazon.
If you really want to look into like snake morphs and stuff, there's 2 channels that I know that I actually follow, and I can put the names up on the camera for you.
What are they?
Maybe.
Oh, there you go.
Oh. Yeah, I follow Brian, but Jay's okay. Brian, I follow him.
Brian a lot too. He's just fun to watch.
Brian is so positive. And this week, if you guys are subscribers to him, he deals with some inside demons. And he had like a heart-to-heart with us this week where he just was saying he's struggling, He's so positive in every one of his videos. And I just love watching. And, he pretty much puts out a video almost every single day too, guys. And that's hard to do. March of 2019, I made a video every single day. And that is hard work. It is hard work.
Mm-hmm.
I had
my New Year's resolution was to make more videos. And so far I've made
0. Yeah, I'm going to be up into the wee hours of the morning getting my tomorrow's video done. And I don't know if it'll be able to be by 7 because, I've got it all shot and it should be pretty easy to edit. But getting it to render and to upload to YouTube, I don't know if it's going to happen. But I'll get it up tomorrow.
He'll get it up. He'll do it.
I'll get it up tomorrow. It just might not be up by 7 a.m., but
I'm going to drop off for just a second and go get myself some coffee.
Okay.
You guys handle it, though, right?
All right.
Yep.
We'll run this thing.
We'll talk about it's Bob, right? This is Bob.
That's Bob and that's
Yes.
Tom.
Okay, Bob. I
The
love
Bob
that.
and Tom show.
Bob, I love that color in the background of your room.
That grass green.
That is the color of it, grass green.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that grass green is so nice.
Mm-hmm.
It looks yellow sometimes, but
Yeah, it actually almost looks like a mustard yellow.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite colors is mustard yellow, so I love that.
It does really look good. The beams being white,
Mm-hmm.
it looks so nice.
You gotta pay extra for that, huh? Huh, Bob?
the room was putty colored. The whole house was painted except the dining room, that putty color. And that's okay, but not the whole house,
Mm-hmm.
So I had one of my nephews when he was a teenager paint all this for me. So
That's cool.
Nice. Tell him to come to this room for me because I didn't do a very good job.
So
Bunch of like little spots up there that you can't really see, but they're there.
well, I
So
didn't
Our
paint
walls
it.
are actually gray.
Now, half of them.
I can't remember what the color gray it is, but yeah.
And those are black. They're like almost black. Like we had black
Yeah.
walls all in here before.
Yeah, it was so dark.
Mhm.
It was so dark in here. It was a burgundy with like little black splotches. It looked like they dipped a sponge in black and now it's so bright and warming,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I got a suggestion for your tank back there. So there's these long thin corridors. I have a Platyodus version and an Aeneas version. They would look great in that tank for you.
What are they?
They're long fin Aeneas and long fin Platyodus.
Are they a type of cory?
Yep.
And they're a long fin?
Yep.
Ooh.
What?
That sounds really cool.
Watch out for you got Dan's Fish sells them, and he'll have the longfin Aeneas sometime here soon. He said.
Okay. Yeah, that's one thing that's really cool about rebuilding my fish room is being creative and keeping fish that I've never kept before. It was always for so many years plecos and live bearers. Like I got into a sword tail,
Sword fill.
yeah, a sword tail fetish for so many years. And, like at one time I had, gosh, I don't know, 7 different strands of endlers and, guppies. Everybody goes down the guppy wormhole. Guppies were just so cool. Live bearers in general were so cool for my kids because they're constantly making babies. And your kids love that, And plecos, of course, were just awesome and a lot of fun. I just got into catfish, but I've not kept a lot of different types of fish, and that's one thing that I'm going to branch out into this year is just keep some fish that I've never kept before.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to do it slow because, like I said, I don't have any income other than this. But I'm going to. I've been like slowly like emptying out some of my tanks. I'm going to move them. Try to move most of them into an extra bedroom so that they're all in one place. And then when I start restocking, it's going to be unusual fish that I can play with and try to bring.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I plan on doing something in the basement. So, like, I just started getting into the kind of the rainbow fish thing. Like, I got Madagascar, and I just bought thread fins. Something, I guess you could say, a little more common, so I can learn, how to breed rainbows.
Right.
Before I get into the more expensive ones, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like one of the things that I want to try to get is I don't know if you've seen them before, but they're royal green pipefish.
Mm.
I really want to get those, but they require like a well-established tank, and the best thing to do with them is to have like a lot of shrimp or something like that in there because they only eat live food.
I think if I remember right, when I went out to Michigan, Jeremy from Sergeant Tank, he had some of those, and it kind of reminds you of a lot of autocinkless because they'll starve if you don't have them in a really, really established aquarium.
Jeremy was the first person I ever shipped to. And I'm like, oh God, the first one I ship, it's got to be somebody, like him that, everybody knows and he knows how to do everything. But I have those filament barbs. And he had males, but no female. And he saw a video I did with my big females. And so I shipped him one, and I wouldn't let him pay me anything. I said, just send me a couple of fry. And he did. And they're grown up now. But he said she spawned the first day you put her in the tank. So
Dang.
Awesome.
but he said that everything was dry and it was okay. But it was my very first time, I'm telling you.
Heck yeah.
Do any of you guys use carbon and sediment blocks for water changes?
No.
Yeah,
I try to stay away from anything paraffin or carbon. Yeah, I have for years. I mean, used to back in the day, I would use it just because I thought it was cool to do. It's an extra filtration type thing, but
yeah, it's I don't anymore either. When I first got into fish tanks, like I won't say how many years ago, but it was a lot of years ago. But all they had was box filters, and you put carbon and the fiber stuff on top, and that's just what you did at the time. But I haven't used it for years.
I got into some box filters. I think Bob did too, but I got into some box filters last year. And
I hate box filters.
and
I absolutely hate box filters.
I actually kind of got back into them, and they're kind of cool, especially when you're doing a smaller aquarium,
Well, I would like change the filter media and stuff once a week, and then I'd pile rocks on top of it, and within 10 minutes it'd be floating at the surface, and I'd put it back down, pile it up with rocks again, and I hate box filters.
I didn't know you were putting it on top of it, Pam. You got to put them in the bottom.
Yeah. I actually run sponge filter and hang on the back filter in all my tanks but one right now. And that's only
I've
because
got sponge filters in my tanks, and a couple of the bigger ones I've got hang on the backs, but mostly I use sponge filters.
yeah, it's 55 behind me. I have a hang on the back and a sponge filter. I can go 2 weeks without changing that water. And plus there's plants in it, so
right.
I could probably go longer.
The filters that I've got in this aquarium back here behind me is just on this end over here. I've got a Zis bubble filter, and it's got a bunch of those little plastic biomedia little floaty things, and it just sits there and trickles around, and on the bottom of it, it's just got like a little foam filter. And then over here on the other side, I've just got like a little sponge filter over there.
Yeah,
that's all I've got on this one. My favorite filters are the aqua clears. I like to turbo those things and put all kinds of different stuff in them, you know. And like my really favorite thing to do to polish the water, to really make your tanks really crystal clear, because this week shooting B-roll on this tank was so tough, because I did a water change and our water here is kind of cloudy, and to shoot B-roll, my lenses were struggling
to focus.
B-roll.
It like focused out, focused in.
They were just struggling. I got enough B-roll shot, but it was just foggy for 24 hours. And my favorite thing to do is to take an aqua clear filter and to put all your regular filter media in it, but then to go out to Walmart and buy that $3 polyfill pillow. To get the type
of stuff, that's what I use now too. But you got to make sure, anybody listening, if you get the pillow filler stuff or stuffing, it works great for filtration, but make sure that it does not have the fire deterrent in it.
Yeah, or like some of them have bacteria, you know, antibacteria stuff in it and different things like that. You got to get the 100% polyester, I think is what it's called.
And some of it, like I say, will have fire retardant in it. And
but you take a couple of pinches off of that and put in that aqua clear, and it will polish your water to where it's crystal clear.
And it's a lot cheaper than buying like stuff from the fish store.
Right. Big time.
I run
it's like $3 for a great big pillow. And you just take your pocket knife and cut that pillow open and just pinch you off some and just pop in there in that filter. And I mean, it polishes your water big time.
Mm-hmm.
I use my favorite hang on the back filter is the marine land filters, because whenever the filters go bad, there is a section on the newer ones, I don't know about the older ones, that where the water still goes into the aquarium instead of almost overflowing like some of them aqua clears will do. That's why I use them, because there's a safety measure to them. Like if you can't get to them, like say you're busy for a week, you got some stuff going on it, you know, with your life or whatever, them things, they will not overflow to where it ends up at the back of your tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I woke up one morning and my whole floor was wet. And I thought I had a tank leaking, but what it was the hang on the back. I'd put some plants in it, and the root blocked the flow. So, yeah, it was pumping water all over the floor. So.
That's exactly why he gets the basement and not like any other room in the house.
Yeah, guys, I used to live stream 3 nights a week and upload 2 days a week. I would have edited videos, and 3 nights a week I would have live streams. So 5 days a week I would be uploading to YouTube. And there was this one live stream that I used to do. It was called the Monday Night Live Water Change live stream. And I thought that thing would just be a flop. And I wanted to just, like, I was bored. I didn't have nothing else to do. And I was sitting there doing water changes all night long. And I'm like, I'm just going to go live one night and see how it goes. And people would start commenting in the chat to try to get me thrown off to tell a story.
Yep, I remember that. Yep.
And I was overflowing fish tanks, and they were doing it on purpose to get me to overflow the fish tanks. It ended up being a big hit. It was a lot of fun, and I missed that live stream.
Yeah, it was.
See, there's another guy. He was in here earlier. His name's Big J Fishkeeper. He does that on Monday. He does Monday water changes.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I thought that I probably wouldn't get very many, but I'm pretty sure that my record night, I had over 200 in a live stream one night, and that was the one was a water change live
200
stream.
people are waiting for you to fail.
Yeah, they were wanting me to overflow tanks.
See, the thing is with that is I find out with a lot of people is if you do something like that, they're coming to watch what you're doing, but they love to chat with other people in the chat. And it's kind of like the old school Yahoo Messenger, if you know what I mean.
Right.
You were talking about the little box filters a couple of years ago. Probably what you're remembering, Jeff, is I got a big box of stuff I got from not Co-op, but what's that other big store? Not Lee's, but Big Al.
Big Al's.
Big Al is great. A lot of people don't even know about Big Al, but I got
He's
some
just a
really.
coach in a long time.
I got some really, really good deals on a whole bunch of stuff. I got a great big box, but I got a bunch of the box filters, the Lee's box filters, and I mentioned them and set them over. Of course, they were in their little boxes, and one of the people that watched the video said, it was Nola Jane, said, why don't you do us a how-to video on that? And I thought, oh, okay. I guess some younger people don't know, and that's my best performing video by several thousand views by far. I mean, still right now today. So you never know what people want to watch, or what'll really do well.
That's right. Yeah, them box filters are really actually awesome because they've got the beneficial bacteria. They've got the water. I mean, you can put whatever you want in them. They're simple. They're easy. You pull them out. You pop them out. You can replace or you can clean out. You just got to put some rocks in them to weight them down.
Yeah,
air driller, really simple.
I hate them.
They'll go.
I hate box filters.
Pam was putting her rocks on top. You got to put them inside, Pam, because they'll bubble them off.
I don't care. I hate them.
Oh man.
Well, they do.
When you and I started, Bob, I'm sure that we started around the same time. Bob and I are the same age, so.
No, you're 6 months older than me.
Oh snap!
Yeah, but that was all there was box filters. There wasn't any other kinds of filters. There were just box filters. And if I never see another box filler in my life, I will be perfectly happy with that.
Did you go to Under Gravels then? Because they came along next.
I think I had Under Gravel in a couple of tanks, but I wasn't real impressed with them.
No, I hate it. I tried it in one tank, and I'm like, that's not for me.
Actually, my first tank when I was a teenager, I had the hang on the back, and then I did have the underwater gravel filler.
Well, see, you're so much younger than us.
He really is.
Like I say, when Bob and I started, there was nothing but box filters. And the only medication for fish was either methylene blue or that malachite green shit.
Yep.
So you never had a fish tank for very long before you had blue silicone.
Yeah.
That's one filter I've never worked with is an Under Gravel, but I always thought it would be really nice.
I didn't like them because of the mulm builds up underneath of them, and then they don't work that well.
Mm-hmm.
Same. Yeah.
And the thing about it is, the key word
and to clean them, you got to take the whole damn tank apart.
Right. See, the problem is it's under your gravel.
the mulm like sifts down through the gravel and into the under gravel filter, and then over time it will build up to where it's blocking the flow.
Right.
So what people do now with them is they put a power head in the tube as opposed to an air station.
Yeah, I thought of that, but yeah. I like sponge filters, and on my bigger tanks, I'll put a hang on the back on them too.
But if you have a planted tank, you don't want them with like the power head, because you want all the nutrients in that stone or
Yeah.
sand, whatever you're using.
That's what I was just going to say. The under gravel
Yeah.
filters are not good for plants either because it takes all the nutrients down.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
probably
'cause-
why I haven't ever messed around with them.
And that's the thing. Like I my one quarry tank, I had the stone for a while, and then I capped it with the sand just to make it easier for the quarries. And my plants are doing way better
Mhm.
since I capped it because it brings the nutrients down in, and then the plants can feed. Because I got a lot of rooted plants. I don't have that much stem plants. But like today, I got some, but that was just for cover for fried. But with them under gravel water filters, that's not good for a planted aquarium.
But you guys saw Ginger's plants, right?
Yeah,
Only thing she does is not vacuum them. They had lots of mold in all of them.
and
Those
that's
plants are
another
gorgeous.
thing. This 55 behind me, I used to gravel filter it. I used to put the thing down in there and suck the stuff up out, and then I started watching, I think, Father Fish, and I stopped doing it, and these plants are doing way better than what they did before.
Yep.
And I tell a lot of people that, but whether they listen to you or not, you know what I mean?
Right.
Well, the layering is not new. We used to do that back in the day. I mean, Pam, you probably did it back then too.
Uh-huh.
For some reason, I remember putting like a layer of newspaper underneath the bottom before you put everything on. And I asked Father Fish, and he said, I do remember that, but I don't remember why. And we don't do it now. So, but yeah, I remember putting the newspaper underneath everything. I don't know what it did or was supposed to do.
So with gardening, we used to do that in a greenhouse, and the newspaper used to break down, and it had nutrients for the plants.
Oh, what I do, I still do stuff the old-fashioned
Okay.
way. I just do because I'm cheap and it works. So I see no reason to buy expensive stuff, which is
No.
why I don't really show very much how I do stuff because so many, especially new fish keepers, are into buying all the latest things and like I just do stuff the old way.
Well, see,
Well,
the
This summer, I'm going to be making for my 300 gallon. I guarantee you, my biological bacteria, beneficial bacteria stuff is going to be cheapo stuff. It's going to be those little plastic SOS pads and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to go to the Dollar Tree and I'm going to get the cheapest stuff. I'm not going to buy all those little bio balls,
You
all
don't
that kind of
need
stuff.
it. When I set up a tank, what I do is and I know everybody's going to be like frowning in the chat, but this is the way I set the tanks for years. So you got the empty tank, and I get some of those Job houseplant spikes, and I break them into pieces, like about a 1/4 inch long pieces, and I put them like in a crosshatch type deal all over the bottom. And then I take unscented kitty litter that I get at Walmart for like $3 for a 50-pound bag. And I mix it half and half with organic soil. And I put about a 2-inch layer of that down. And then I put either gravel or sand over the top for a cap and plant it and put water in it.
That's awesome.
And that's what I do. And it's cheap. And most of my lights are just shop lights, 4-foot LED shop lights. And it works. And it's cheap.
Yeah, there are some
I work and I'm cheap.
well, there really are some reasonably priced lights out there. Like one of my best growing plant lights has been one of those. I got it off of a Kyle's Wild World video. probably his last video that he ever uploaded. So if you go to his YouTube channel, he was getting them off of the eBay, and he linked it in the description. And I mean, them lights are cheap, and they really grow the plants. I was thinking about him the other day because I used to order plants off of him. He's a really cool guy, but I haven't seen nothing out of him in forever. But I ordered a bunch of those lights, and those things really do grow plants. And I mean, for a great big long 48-inch long light, it's like $20. You know, I mean, like cheap as can be.
Yeah, I heard that. I shouldn't say this, and this is just what I heard. It doesn't mean it's true, but this is what I heard. I heard he got himself in a little bit of trouble, and he's in college right now.
Oh goodness!
So but I miss him. He was a good kid.
Really good guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, his plants were so spectacular.
What was his name again?
Kyle's Wild World is his YouTube.
I never missed any of his videos. He was real, and he's just a really nice guy.
But I'll bet you his last video that he uploaded was the one that he linked it. What type of? I want to say they're Aquanite, but they might not be Aquanite. But they're an eBay. They're an eBay light. You get them off of the eBay, and I mean they are cheap for what the light is compared to what everything else is. You know.
Well, everybody likes to get the new stuff because it looks good.
Right.
And I get that, like, if you have, like, a display tank in your living room or where people come in. But if you have a fish room, you don't really need all that.
Well, the most expensive light that I've ever bought are the ones that are on this aquarium back here, and they're Aquanite planted aquarium lights. But I don't know that I'll always keep them on this tank. I might put them on, you know, because they really are good. I mean, they really do work. And they have a great spectrum on them. But that's it. That's the first time I ever, what my plan was before I took my YouTube break was I bought a CO2 system off of Aquarium Co-op, and Mikey, when I was out in Colorado back in 2019, he gave me a CO2 tank, and it's just out of date. I just got to take it somewhere and get it filled and get the new, get them to take the neck off and replace the neck and get it certified again, you know. And I've got everything else to do it, and I wanted to do this tank. I had a bunch of stem plants at the time. And I wanted to do this tank with a bunch of stem plants because I had some really cool plants. I mean, I probably had 100 different types of aquarium plants. And I just never got around to it. But that's still stuff that I've got, you know, that I can do down the road. But that's why I bought those Phoenix lights, is because, you know, I didn't want to get the, what is that other one that's 3.0? You know what I mean? What's the name of that one that is just really big and name brand light out there?
Kyle has those purple gudgeons, and I was wanting to get some of those from him when they spawned, and that was like toward the end. And
I swear I can't hear Bob now.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Are you still there, Pam?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can't hear Pam now either.
Uh-oh. I'll redial you. Hang on.
Remind me, I said purple gudgeon because I won't
I
remember.
think we lost our call, Pam, is what the deal is.
Hello.
Call me again, Pam. It's not letting me answer it.
It's not, I don't have a place to answer the damn phone.
When I try to answer it, it just doesn't let me answer it.
Technology nowadays is starting to turn to junk. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna try again.
Every time I try to answer. Okay, watch.
It hung up.
I know, I didn't even touch it. All right. This.
I don't. It doesn't seem to be wanting to work.
I don't know either.
You want to try to call me? I mean, would that work? Or me call him?
Yeah, try calling him.
Bad.
Maybe they have a time limit or something on the phone.
It might. If I had his thing, I would do it.
Are you able to dial, Jeff?
He can't hear you, buddy.
I can't hear you.
Somebody make a sign and tell him to call me.
Try calling Bob.
Everyone's like, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
The problem is that we can hear him, but he can't hear us. So.
He switched over to a different. I'm calling you, Pam.
Okay, baby.
Hey, he's calling you.
Okay, I think we're good. Are we there? I think we're there.
There we go. Hi, Pam.
All right. All right.
How you doing?
Oh, hi. Welcome to the stream, Jeffros.
I'll tell you what happened is somehow my phone switched over to my new Facebook page, my Jeffro's Fishkeeping page, and it wasn't on my, Pam's calling me on my personal Facebook. So I don't know why my phone decided to do that.
I don't know either.
Okay, I was saying that.
It must be Phoebe's fault.
Phoebe's fault.
Wow.
Phoebe, I have a
So
coffee
you're
cup.
trying to feed a baby, no big deal.
I have a coffee cup that you need to get for the mornings.
She has a coffee cup that you need to get for the mornings when you turn
I'm
it
gonna show
up.
you.
On the bottom, it has watch.
Yep, it
It
says,
flips-
have a
it-
nice day.
But then when you flip it up, watch.
I need that, Pam. That's my mood, like 24/7. So yes, that's absolutely.
The day that I became a Facebook friend with Pam was like an awesome day because Pam, she don't candy coat nothing. She just puts it out there.
Oh, thank you, Ginger.
We got a couple of super chats, by the way.
Ooh.
I have another coffee cup that would be perfect for Phoebe too.
Oh,
it,
another
it says, "Good morning. I see the assassins failed."
She said she has another one that would be perfect for you. It says, "Good morning. I see the assassins have failed." That actually, I can see that working for Phoebe.
We're gonna have to figure out this technical difficulty. This is absolutely ridiculous. Oh, good.
I know. If I put it on speaker, though, then my mic starts picking it up.
I know, it's fine.
I was saying that Kyle
Yeah,
Kyle had the purple gudgeons. Remember those?
Yes, I do. They were neat.
And I was waiting to get those from him when they were going to spawn. And
He had the neatest place, and he had the neatest tanks, and his tubs outside were so cool.
well, guess where I saw purple gudgeons this week? You hear me?
I heard you say, "Guess where you saw purple
Oh,
gudgeon?"
yeah. Ginger Graves' house.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She wasn't coming off of them, though.
Purple Gudgeon. I never heard of that one.
Oh, they're really cool. Look them up. Purple gudgeons. They've got another word. Ginger's still in the chat, I say. They got another word in their name. They are really cool fish.
She's laughing at you right now.
I'll tell you,
I'm
Since
serious.
we're talking about fish that we want to keep, the fish that I really want to keep that I've never kept before out of any other fish in the world right now that it's like on my wish list
Goldfish.
is Dean
Ooh.
has gotten a hold of what he calls a shadow ram, but they're a black ram. And the only place you can really get them is at Aquarium Co-op because Dean doesn't ship, Corey doesn't ship. And there's been people that have driven from Illinois and somewhere else in the U.S. to go out there and get them. But man, Corey did a video last week where he was showing them again. And it's like, I would love to keep those fish. I would love to mess with them and try to get them breeding too. And I think they'd be a big hit. And they're so cool.
They are cool looking. Yeah, the fish that I want really badly, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to get them, is they're a little tiny rainbow fish. And they're called honey blue-eyed rainbow fish.
Honey blue-eyed.
Oh.
And the problem with getting them is about 15 years ago, they're out of Australia and they were put on the endangered species list there, so they cannot be shipped out of Australia at all. At all, at all. So the only way to even have a chance of getting any is to find somebody that has had them that long and is breeding them.
Wow.
And that is the only way that you're going to get a hold of any. And that is not easy to do. I found a couple people up in Canada, but there again, we got the problem of shipping them from Canada. So yeah. But I really want to get some eventually. Eventually, maybe I'll find some.
The only way I'd really be able to do it is I can't see myself driving all the way to Washington to get a fish.
Yeah, I agree with you because I saw that video you watched, and then midnight. I think he called them like midnight rams or something.
Right.
Because whenever they moved, they had like blue spots in them. Oh
Yes.
my! I wanted them
They're
so.
so awesome, and you know, there's no other place that I know of in the U.S. that you can get them. Because Flynn from Flynn's Fish Forum somehow got a hold of them up in Canada, and he got them to Dean, and then Dean is a master breeder. You know, Dean got him going because he's been a German Ram, you know, specialty for so many years. And Dean got him breeding, and now Dean's just got him like going crazy. And that's the only place that I know of that you can really find them in the U.S. because you can't really get them from overseas.
Those were the Dark Knight Rams.
Yeah,
Right. That's
Is that what it? Okay.
Yeah, they were Dark Knight Rams, and
They're
then
so awesome.
but then Dean modified them a little bit. But you can get Dark Knights; they're real common.
Okay, so I'm going to do a pause and we're going to give away my little drawing.
All right, I'm going to take a bathroom break.
Okay, if you want to put in a number, if you don't have the chat up, I can do it for you.
I do not have the chat up.
I can do it for them.
Okay, so go ahead and take a quick break, and when you get back, we'll do it.
All right.
I'm gonna have to look them Rams up because
No, they're going to.
I'm gonna find a supplier because them things were awesome.
Yeah, they are awesome.
They're just
Like-
dark. They're just Dark Knights, and he changed the name of them.
Oh,
They're just Dark Knight Rams, and he's bred them to be a little prettier. Yeah.
so he did the whole select breeding.
Yeah, it's like getting somebody's nice guppies, you know, that are already, you know, a novelty. But Dark Knights have been around like 5 years. You can get them anywhere. Look up Dark Knight Rams and see what they look like.
Oh, I wrote it down because they were pretty cool.
But I mean, you can look up Dark Knights. That's not what he sells them as. He changed the name.
Yeah,
Because-
was it Corey that went to Israel and showed the breeding place that bred them? Was it on Corey's stream?
I don't remember.
Yeah, underground. Yeah, it was Corey.
Yeah, Dragon Lair just said it. Yeah, what you just read. I wish there was a way I could get Dean to ship fish. like Dean shipping fish, like he would. Oh my! But the thing is, after COVID, he travels so much to where he doesn't do a lot of breeding now. So that's why he's so got so many fry is because he's been stuck at home.
Okay, so if everybody's ready, we're going to do the drawing.
Yes.
This is what we're giving away. It is a small ACEO card, colored pencil
Okay.
of an epistogramma species that Jason at Redfish Bluefish is going to be in his next order of fish he gets in. And there is his website's down below in my comment section thing. And if you use Punchy 10, you get 10% off at any time. And the rules of the drawing are, we're going to do a random number from 1 to 50. And you get one guess per person. It can be shipped anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter where you live. I will send it to you. And let's see, one guess per person. And whoever comes closest to the number without going over is the winner. And if there's a tie, then we do a tiebreaker between the people who tied. And I think I got it all covered there. So wait for me to push start. I'm going to show you how the number gets pulled up. Hang on.
So, Pam, you can send me the number and I'll keep an eye for you.
No, what I do is I just pull up the random number and hit it in front of everybody. So I'm going to share that.
Oh, so I can actually guess this time.
Yeah, you can totally guess. Okay, so it's on number 13 right now, but that's not the number. After everybody gets in a number on their guess, I'll hit this button here that says generate and generate a number in front of everybody. And that way everybody knows that it's totally fair. So let me get that off of there for now. There we go. So I'm going to type start, and like I say, the numbers between 1 and 50. And you guys that can't get into chat, like Bob and Jeffro, if you give me a number, I'll write it down for you.
I'd just let Phoebe do mine.
23.
She did not message. No, she didn't.
Did you need help getting a number in, Bob?
37.
Okay.
I'm going to switch to my other screen, Pam, and I'm going to look at the numbers.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to need help to go back because I can't keep an eye on it while it's going because I don't know won't know what the number is until everybody's done.
Just let me know when you're ready to do that, and I'll switch back to StreamYard, and you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I'll write names down if there's multiple.
Yeah, because I miss them sometimes, or miss one. So it's good to have somebody backing me up.
S0 is not a number.
Yeah, don't use 0 because you aren't gonna get it at all.
Yeah, it won't bring that number up for sure.
That was a good one, though. Zero's the hero.
I think I'm the third 37.
Hey, Pam, while this is all going on, do you still have rice fish?
Yes, I do.
What kind of rice fish do you have?
They are Daisy's rice fish.
I've never kept those before.
He does really good at breeding them.
Yeah, I can remember watching her live streams and she put the camera over there by them.
Yep.
Watch them frolic around and stuff.
Yep.
When 18.
Oh, shouldn't.
Okay, so everybody got a number in? Because I'm gonna push stop. And then we will go back and generate a number. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up the random number and hit it, and we shall see.
Only
Okay, so we got the random number thing up, and we're gonna hit the button. Number 31.
oh, that,
I don't know what numbers were on there. So, I don't know. You lost
Oh,
me.
Now I got to go back and see who got number 31 or the closest to it.
I got one. There's one. There's one that got 31.
Someone got 31 exactly.
Yeah.
All right, who is it?
So Scott's Aquatic one.
Scott's Aquatics. Congratulations, Scotty.
Oh, congratulations, Scotty. Okay, so
came in here
send
to
me
plug
a
my
quick
phone up.
email with your mailing address, Scotty. And here's my email. So send me your mailing address. And I'm going to go to the post office tomorrow, so it'd be really good if you send it tonight. And I can add it to the stack of stuff I got going out.
Jeffro, this is why
Awesome.
Pam keeps me here, because I'm good with the giveaways.
What's that, Tom?
That's just why Pam keeps me here. I'm good with her giveaways.
Yep.
I know, right? You're good at it, man. You're good at your craft. I'll tell you that right now. You know, back in the day when I used to live stream all the time, you'd come to my live streams, and I didn't even know you were a mod. You know, I didn't ever know, and now I know, and that's why I added you the other night as a mod, because you know Candy hardly ever comes to my live streams anymore. She's so busy nowadays.
Yeah.
And
She's busy with the emails and stuff.
I'm telling you, Candy is a busy girl.
So
And,
my
Pam,
My
or,
actual
not
person-
Pam, but Priscilla has been working pretty hard on my live streams here
Yeah.
lately.
Mhm.
I really noticed the other night during my live stream, she was working it pretty hard. We watched it on the replay, and it's so nice to have people to help you out, because I had like a troll the other night that was hitting it pretty hard, and I, you know, not Pam, but Priscilla was working it pretty hard for me.
That's why I was there that night, and that's why I said, "Hey, add me. I was going to take care of that person."
I
But-
know, right? I don't know why I hadn't had that done already.
But honestly, though, I was happy when Pam told me to come up here, because it's funny, because you were actually the second person that I was watching live streams to. The first one was Dan's Fish. And then I started catching your videos. Oh, he does live streams. I'll show up to him. And
Awesome.
I loved it. And you two were the first ones that I was watching with live streams.
That's really cool to hear.
Yeah.
I always like to hear those stories. The very first time that I went live, I had less than 100 subscribers, and I probably had 3 people at my live stream, and one of them was my son, and it almost felt like you were talking to yourself, but all I kept on thinking was, keep on doing this, keep on doing this, keep on doing this. And before you know it, I had 200 people showing up to my live stream, and I was having a blast, and so
Yeah.
were they.
The first time that I went live was to do a giveaway, and I was so nervous and stuff, and I went after Jeffro, and he went late.
Oh
He
boy.
went late that night for like half an hour over
Yeah,
into
you
when
just-
I was having my live stream.
Oh, I'm so sorry, man.
Hey, we get out of here.
It's a small world, isn't it?
That are live stream junkie.
It's okay. As people from Boise, we forgive people.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I've you know, and I was also single and I didn't have nothing going on. So there were some nights where I'd just be thinking that, you know, when I started my live stream, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go live for an hour. And then next thing you know, 4 hours later,
Yeah.
then I take a half-hour break and then I go on with Sergeant Tank for 3 hours on his channel, you know?
Yeah.
And that's really, there was nights where it was like that, you know, 7 hours of live streaming.
Yeah. And that's crazy because Bob told me a time to start was Sunday at 6. So I think it was my first one. And I'm right before Susie Q. So I was trying to not go over on her stream, you know, out of respect.
Right.
And then she wasn't doing it. And then, well, it just happened to keep going. And it's only because everybody was good in the chat. And then I have a co-host on mine, TN Aqua. And we just kept it going. And then we realized, oh, crap. We went over an hour. It just like if the chat is good, you can feed off of it and you just keep going with it.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I
usually
love.
go about 2 hours, sometimes more.
Oh, you did about 2 weeks ago. We went about 3.5, I think, Pam.
You went over me?
No,
I'm teasing.
I know.
I don't know if you guys caught it or not, but Jeremy from Sergeant Tank, he went live. I want to say it was last week.
I saw that. I missed it. I didn't see it like show up in my notifications until after he was done. I saw
That was so cool. He used to always do that too. He just out of the blue just go live from the fish room, you know. And Bob from Steamfod Aquatics, he does that every once in a while. He hasn't done it in a long time, but I try to do that, but I'm not very good at it. But I've always loved that as a subscriber when they just go live out of the blue and you get that notification and you're like having a bad day at work and then all of a sudden out of the blue, bam, they go live, you know.
I actually did it. I actually did it last night. ATF, All Things Fish, he did his first live stream last night, and we did. He ended up going 3 hours. He wanted to do an hour, but we kept feeding off the chat. Like he did his thing, and then I came up with him and a couple others, and we just kept feeding off the chat. And he's like, "Oh man," because he's not paying for the StreamYard,
Right.
and you only get 20 hours. I said, "I'll tell you what." I said, "I'll do an after party." Listen, we went to 4 a.m. Eastern time, and people were just there because
I didn't even know about that one. I didn't even know about that one until this morning. I got the notification this morning, and I missed that one because every night when we go to bed, we're looking for live streams. You know, we go to my subscriptions. I'm almost subscribed to like 300 people now. And we go there and we look for live streams because that's our pastime.
Look at your last comment on that stream last night, Skipper. I lurked through the whole thing and kept my mouth shut.
Uh-oh.
I was there the whole time, and I was like, cool stream, or enjoyed lurking or something. I got my betas finally open, Pam.
Oh, sweet.
These are the one from Lisa at KG.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you forgot
to
do the unboxing in your stream, bud.
I did it at the end of the stream.
I'm sorry. I
did it on overtime. I did it right at the end, and then I went back and reshot it a while ago and said I'm reshooting it to make it a short unboxing, and I just haven't uploaded it. I've been on.
Yeah, she's sending me a mail next week.
Yeah.
And its name is Winky because it's a one-eyed male, but he's really pretty.
Lukey.
You ordered a one-eyed male and you're naming it Winky?
Yeah.
Aww.
That's cute.
That's so adorable.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
I can take Phoebe.
Hey, thanks for chiming in, good looking honky.
Oh, I'm so sorry,
I
Danny.
love that name.
Jeffrey's going on baby duty finally.
It's about time.
They're trying to eat, Pam. Trying to eat that leaf. I better give them a bloodworm.
Oops.
I know, that's what happens every time I scoot in.
And there's the baby. She's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
What's the baby's name?
He's pissed.
There we go.
Oh no.
Oh, that bottom lid.
What's his name?
Should have got her suit.
She's not having it.
Phoebe, what's the baby's name? Phoebe, what's the baby's name?
It may not be.
Oh, it's Dana, but we call her Danny.
Oh, it's
Oh,
a little girl.
That's
Oh.
cute.
Mm-hmm. Baby Danny.
Oh,
Little
she's adorable.
She'll be mad at us when she gets like 16 and we put her on the internet. Today's video I shot with her on a what do you call those?
GoPro. Oh, the baby thingy.
Yeah. What
It's
is
a
that? Like
baby-
a little papoose thing.
Mhm.
And because she wasn't letting me lay her down and I needed to make a video, you know. And I put a little GoPro camera down inside the papoose with her, and it showed a view like with her, and I call it Danny Cam.
All right.
My video, it's a little Danny Cam. And she was my little buddy today when I made my video.
Oh, here, I'll grab her.
That's nice.
I'll get her. I'll get her.
You're doing a pretty good job.
You just flop her all over the place. And yeah, put that down.
Okay, there you go, Mama.
Yeah.
I guess I got demoted.
Nah, listen, man. I'm gonna tell you something, bud. One thing with my two kids is they never took to a binky, and I'm so happy about that.
I had one of them that kept his binky until he was, I want to say, 3 years old. And how I got him broke of it is his birthday is around Christmas. And I took it from him and I put it as an ornament on the Christmas tree.
Ah.
Okay, that's smart.
It worked. But she doesn't take it very often. She's hungry right now is what it is, I think.
Probably. Yeah, I tell you that when they're that small, it's great. But when they get bigger and start walking the house, it is heck. That's I'll just say.
Oh, yeah.
But my 5-year-old daughter, she just loves whenever I'm doing water changes. She goes, "Daddy, can I help?" I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, my 15-year-old son, he would get some allowance money every once in a while, you know. And he actually has bred probably, I want to say probably 5 different types of live bearers. And then he's also bred like a couple of different types of bristlenose plecos.
Nice.
It was really cool. And he also bred some Danios. He got some long fin leopard Danios at the LFS one day. And he asked me, you know, whenever we were there, he was like, "Can you help me get this tank set up to where I can get these bred?" And I was like, "Sure." And I showed him everything about it. And we got them set up to where he could get them going. And he sure did. He got them and he bred them.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Whenever you know the kids want to get into it, I love that.
Yeah, he's only 15 years old, and he's already bred like all kinds of different libraries, and then plecos. He knows what to do. And then when he got into the Danios, because they're egg scatterers, and then once you get them bred, you've got to have a really good. You've got to either do an infusoria, or you've got to have a really good established long-term tank to where they can have some little microorganisms to eat.
Yeah.
Priscilla wants to know if you're going to bring Ashton to Colorado.
Possibly. He does live with his mom now. He comes here every other weekend. It just depends. Like, the biggest reason why we'll be able to go to Colorado is her kids, Phoebe's kids, go to see their grandparents in the summer in California. And then we'll be really, really like kid free and open to be able to go. But we might be able to take Ashton with us.
I wanted to ask you something, Jethro, but I'm not sure it would be okay. I guess you could just say, let's don't talk about that.
All right.
Should I risk it?
Go for it, Bobby.
Did you ever find out who that was that did that police thing? What that's called?
What?
I can't remember what that's called.
Right. I did not find out who it was, but there's all kinds of speculation out there.
Yeah.
So, I drive a 2017 Ford Focus ST. At the time, it had tinted windows, so it's a little low rider, loud pipes. It's got a pop-off valve with the turbo. I've got a great big beard. My electric bill was really high. My water bill was really high. There is, the word out there that there's a possibility that, cops in certain little towns look at that kind of stuff and they think, well, what if that guy is growing illegal stuff?
Yeah, they do.
And, they came in there and they didn't find nothing, of course, because I'm little old stupid Jeffro with a bunch of aquariums.
I think somebody tried that on me one night, I'm pretty sure, because I was streaming and there was a loud knock on my door. And I think the only thing that saved me was the fact that it was right after the COVID started. So they just knocked on the door and stood outside and waited for me to go out. And then they told me that somebody had reported that they heard like a woman screaming from my house.
Weird.
And I'm like, no. But I got a feeling that that's what that was. I really think that's
that aquarium right there was the aquarium that was next to the window that they put the flashbang whatever thing in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Jesse, that's right.
And the other day, whenever I set this tank up, Phoebe found a piece of glass in the bottom of it still from my window at my house.
Listen, but
just like every once in a while I'd find pieces of glass in it,
Well, the night that this happened, you're going to laugh, Jeff. The night that this happened, I went outside to talk to the cops. I had my son on with me, and he kind of took over the stream. And I went outside and was talking to him, and I got back in and sat down and realized that I still had my Mickey Mouse ears on.
It's funny.
they were like, there's some crazy lady there.
Oh my God.
That probably saved you, Pam.
Yeah, but like I said, there was 6 police officers out there.
Yeah, at least they didn't have.
And somebody had called and said that they heard a woman screaming from my house.
At least they didn't have semi-automatic weapons drawn on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think the only thing that saved them from busting down the door was the fact that the COVID had just started. So they knocked there was like a loud banging on the door, and then when I opened the door, they were outside.
There's
That
a
is
word
nice.
for that, isn't there? What's it called when people do that?
Seeing
Swatting.
Swatting.
or swatting. Yeah,
Swatting.
Swatting.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen. I had seen a lot of it happening on the internet web, and I've seen people actually when they get swatted, they actually get arrested and everything.
Mhm.
Yep.
In some states, all it takes is a phone call, and they come and arrest you, and then they sort it out later. And mine, luckily, they came in, but they were there a good hour. They kept on going through my stuff, and they slopped it everywhere. I mean, the stuff that
they searched your
they
place.
had a heyday in my basement. They just turned it upside down, And I kept on telling them, man, you guys are barking up the wrong tree, but they were just doing their job. Someone on my swatting incident, what had happened is somebody from somewhere had saw that I was going live, and they were getting their whatever off of seeing me get swatted by a SWAT team. And they called him and told him I was killing some woman is what it was. They told him I was cutting somebody with a knife, and I was going to kill them when they came.
That's what I heard. Yeah, what you just said, that story or whatever.
Right. And the flashbang that happens at the beginning of the video, they put some kind of percussion thing on my glass in my bedroom window right behind that aquarium. That aquarium was next to a window, and they busted that window out. Well, it was such a hard blast that it busted my hang on the back filter. Well, it busted out the whole window, and then it busted glass into that tank, And then they took a battering ram to my front door, which luckily didn't break because I think that it was barely latched. I think that it was just barely latched. And then luckily my dogs were in their kennel.
Yeah, I remember that. And your kids weren't home.
My kids were gone for the weekend, luckily. But yeah, I'd never had a gun pulled on me or anything, and I had 7 automatic weapons pulled on me right there in my living room.
That was another thing I heard, Jeff, was that you had kids and they might have thought some other kids did it because kids doing it to each other or something.
I don't think so, though, because it was kind of like a thing there for a while on YouTube for people to do that shit.
Right. Well, I had never heard of it ever coming. I'd never heard of it actually hitting our hobby. That was the problem.
I'd never heard of it till that.
Us.
Yeah, that I remember that, Jeff. That was nuts.
Yep, they had from what I've heard, they have like a whole YouTube group that then goes on and brags about it and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's kind of over with now. I think they quit doing it or mostly so.
I remember Pam fussing at me and because I always, forget to and not show my address when I'm unboxing, and I say, well, just send money or candy, and so Pam and Candy were like, that's why you don't show your address.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Listen,
I went for a really long time, letting people be my friend on Facebook and stuff, and that's probably what possibly happened, because my private Facebook, my regular Facebook, it has my, local address.
Yeah.
So that's probably why.
He quit doing that after he got me for a friend on Facebook. He was like, what the hell?
See, I'm going to tell you this. If that would ever happen to me, I will be meeting them at the front door.
Yeah.
And they will find an angry redneck that was sleeping.
I'm really lucky that I didn't have like a concealed carry on my desk or something like that night. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there was some YouTuber got killed There was a YouTuber
Right.
that got killed with
Right.
that.
I've heard that same story. And, you know, John from KG Tropicals, he used to be a police officer.
Yeah.
And he told me, if you really look at the footage, if you go back and look at that swatting video, because I put it out later, and if you look at that footage, I do too much, really, with my hands and stuff. You know, I mean, the only thing that saved me was I had a bunch of bright lights where they could see my hands and they could see that I wasn't doing anything, you know. Really, I did enough. I mean, there's been people that have been shot for doing what I did with my hands because I was grabbing my headphones, you know. I mean, they were just right there in my
It's
face.
scary.
Yeah, I know.
I think that my daughter one time, this has been about a year and a half ago or so, she was working, or about 2 years ago, I guess. She was working at McDonald's and she was a closing night manager. And she had her own apartment and stuff at the time. But she didn't have a car. So she called me. It had snowed and it was like super cold. So she called and asked me if I could give her a ride home when she was done instead of her walking home in the snow and ice. And I said, sure. So she was done about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I went to pick her up, and because the parking lot was so icy, I just pulled right up by the front door and was sitting there with my truck running, listening to the radio and waiting for her. And she had like 2 people on the crew with her, and the main lights were off and stuff. So I was sitting there and I glanced over at the road going by and saw a sheriff's truck. And I saw him look over at me and hit his brakes. And I thought, oh, okay, he's gonna come over here and see what I'm doing, right? No big deal. So I turned off the radio and I got out my driver's license. And I was sitting there watching him and waiting. And I looked at him, I was watching my side view mirror and I saw him pull up behind me, but he pulled up without, he not only didn't have his flashers on, he had turned off his headlights. And he pulled up behind me and I'm sitting there watching him, waiting for him to come up to the window. And he got out of his truck. He was talking, you know, in the radio on his collar. And he pulled out his gun. And he had his gun drawn, squatted on the back of my truck. And I'm sitting there watching him going, what the hell? And it scared me. I didn't even have the gun pointed right at me, but he was squatted at the back of my truck talking on his radio with his gun drawn. And I'm sitting there and I got my hands on the steering wheel and I'm watching him in the rearview mirror going, I couldn't even breathe. I don't think I breathed for the whole time. And I'm like, hurry up, get out here, Megan, hurry up. And pretty soon, she came out, or the 2 guys she was working with came out the door, and then she came out, and they just like stopped dead in their tracks, and they were staring at this cop at the back of my truck. And Megan had her back to him, and she was locking the doors, and then she turned around and saw him, and she kind of stares at him, and he said, he like pointed at my truck, and he says, "Is he drunk?" And she's like, "What? No, that's my mom." And he just like stood up and he said something in his radio, and he stood up and got in his truck and left, and he never did come up to the window. And the kids that were working with her started laughing their asses off. And then immediately another cop pulled in the driveway from another direction and just went on by and pulled out. I think he'd called for backup, and that was his backup. But I'll tell you what, just having him squatting, I mean, I'm sitting there watching him squatting at the back of my truck with his gun drawn, and I was like not breathing and I'm about to have a heart attack. So, yeah. That was enough for me. That was enough for me, Jeff. I wouldn't want to go through what you went through.
Come on.
You don't want to be on camera.
Come.
I put these betas in 2 different specimen containers, and I've got them hanging on the side inside this guppy tank, and there's a bunch of fry in there, so they're having a field day trying to get the guppy fry.
Oh, I'll bet.
It's scaring the guppies. I hope you can get that fixed, Jeffro. That'll make it hard to live stream.
Is he still there?
Yeah, he's there.
Because he's
frozen?
frozen.
No, he's not frozen.
Am I frozen?
No,
No.
you were just
I was just sitting still.
you were sitting so still I didn't see you breathing. So I'm glad you didn't die or something.
I just noticed that it was after midnight.
Yeah, we should probably call it a night here. It's been a little bit over 2 hours.
Yeah.
So that means it's 2 o'clock here.
Talking.
No, it's 1:14 here, Bob.
It's
Yeah.
1:14 for you, Tom.
Oh yeah.
We stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning lots of nights.
Oh, maybe.
Oh my gosh, I have been staying up till like 6 or 7 in the morning
6 or 7. My mom does that
Yeah.
thing.
because I'm used to working at night, so I just get to working and then I'll look at the
Last
clock and go, shit, I should
Yeah.
probably try to get a little bit of sleep.
last night I did an after party after All Things Fish, and I was up till 4 in the morning Eastern time.
Oh boy.
I
So
was
if
off, so it's fine.
David streams in the morning and doesn't see me, that's why, because I'm in bed.
Yeah.
I might do an after party of punchy paints.
Yeah.
I'll be lurking. I'll be lurking there.
I'll probably be lurking too while I'm drawing. So I want to thank everybody for coming in, and thank you, Jeffro and Phoebe and Baby.
You are welcome.
Thank you so much for coming in.
No problem.
And
Anything for you, Pam.
oh, that was nice.
Anything?
And thank you, everybody, for stopping by and staying with us. And congratulations again, Scotty, for winning the drawing.
Congratulations, Scotty.
Awesome.
And thank you guys for the super chats. And if you have not subscribed, please do. And I think that's it. So good night, everybody. Thanks, Phoebe and Baby, too.
Peace out, y'all.
Okay, bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Oh.